Thank you very much. Today on Parenting, we'll be talking about dealing with allergies. And that's, of course, allergies in children, that is, from a parent's angle. And we'll be doing the conversation with Oluyemisi Agoro. Now, Yemisi is a family-oriented lady who is committed to helping parents find a work-life balance by helping them unlearn and relearn new skills. Parenting skills, mostly. Good to have you on the show this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. It's good to be here.
Fantastic. So, yes, allergies. First off, I'm sure you can hear it in my voice already. I've always wondered how my parents coped with me. I think we were subscribed to a tissue paper making factory growing up. Yeah, it was that bad.
Oh, wow.
And so it makes me wonder, we have different allergies in children. Let's start from how to discover what allergies your children have. What are the things you need to do so you can be at alert, knowing, okay, this child is allergic to this and stuff?
Well, usually in Nigeria, we just wait until the allergic reaction happens and then we say, oh, wow, he's allergic or she's allergic. But what you can do to find out ahead of time if your child is allergic to anything, you can either do a blood test, a skin test, or a challenge test.
Blood test, skin test, or a challenge test.
I'll explain. So the blood test, they take your blood, and then there's a way they run it against a panel, and then the results of that test actually show you how your child, if your child is sensitive to a whole list of foods. There's tomatoes. They let you know from that test. You can find out if your child is allergic.
Is it a pricey test?
Very pricey.
Oh.
You can find out if your child is allergic to tomatoes or eggs or milk or beef or beef innards, anything. Same thing with the skin test. They put some allergens on your skin. That's possible things you may react to on your skin. And then they basically look and find out what you react to. The challenge test, however, though, that's the most definitive because it tells you the extent to which your child is allergic. So, for example, it implies exposing the child to different allergens and just gauging their reaction. So you can expose the child to dust, you can expose the child to nuts, you can expose the child to eggs, pollen, whatever, and basically see how severely the child reacts to it. But that's a risk.
Dangerous, so.
It is, but usually that's how we find out in Nigeria because nobody goes and does allergy panel tests here.
That's true. Very few parents actually do. So now, when you've discovered, as a Nigerian, naturally, when you've discovered, how do you handle it?
You basically avoid. And in cases where avoidance doesn't work, you treat and you manage the condition. So it's easy to avoid things like if your child's allergic to nuts, like groundnuts, peanuts.
The diet.
Yeah, exactly. You remove it totally from the child's diet,
well,
right?
You know, nuts can be really tricky because you have nuts in chocolates. You have nuts in some oils. You have in fact, it's shocking how many things actually contain nuts.
Reading food labels
very
is your friend.
Yes.
Read everything. Because some allergic reactions can be mild, where the child just has small catarrh and sneezes once or twice, or some can be very severe, where their throat is blocked and they are choking and they literally cannot breathe. So you want to be very careful if your child has a food allergy, especially with something as ubiquitous, something that's everywhere like nuts. So yeah.
Okay, so now when you've been able to find what it is and you've started managing it, the children grow. And when they grow, they tend to be rebellious sometimes. You hear, Mommy, why can't I eat this?
My darling,
and
that
you will
one
not
is in your
be
pocket.
there every time. So how do you educate your child on, what to avoid, why to avoid it? Because we also even have this thing with raising children. You will learn from experience. But some experiences can kill. So how then do you educate your child, let the child know why without having to take certain risks?
Right. So again, communication. I mean, as the children grow, you need to let them, they become more and more self-sufficient. They get to a point where you begin to trust them to take care of certain things themselves.
Absolutely.
And so you're not responsible for feeding them, you know, daily. They go out and they get snacks and stuff.
Yeah.
So you absolutely have to warn the child. Drum it in until it is a mantra for the child, right? So, oh, don't eat nuts. If you eat nuts, this and that will happen. But trust me, once in a while, they will go and eat it.
They will.
So what you want to do is to have your drugs on hand. Always, never run out your allergy meds. So there's Piriton, there's Loratine, there's Cetirizine, there's prednisolone. You want to keep them very handy because with children, it will happen. You just don't know what time. It can happen in the midnight, and they'll just stop breathing or something dramatic like that. So yeah, you want to have drugs on hand.
Now,
always.
There's one thing about parents, there's something about children, but there's also the thing with caregivers. Now, with caregivers, especially when you have a baby that cannot speak, a baby that cannot express himself or herself yet, how do you, you know, you talk about communication, but there are some caregivers that you would tell why, you will tell how, you give all the details, but then if you are too dramatic, like you just talk, I beg, something that I was raised with, quotes. How then do you handle such?
I mean, is that caregiver for you or against you? That's the question you want to ask. If you have employed someone who cannot follow your instructions and who is hell-bent on doing her own thing, I don't think that's a good employer-employee fit. So my best advice, and this is from a mommy perspective and a HR perspective, let that person go quick.
But before you let the person
too much
go,
at risk.
Some things might have happened.
So it's the same thing. You talk and talk and talk and reiterate over and over again and communicate excessively, and then have the drugs at hand just in case of an emergency, you know. But ultimately, if the person refuses to cooperate with you in taking care of your child, then that person is not, you know, a capable caregiver for you. It's not a good fit. Now,
Oluyemisi, let's just run through common allergies. I'm asking this because some parents are probably struggling to understand what we mean by allergies. And many people don't even realize certain things are allergies. So, or rather, they cause, you know, allergic reactions. Can you just run us through some?
Right. So, like I said, first of all, you have to know that any child can be allergic to anything.
Absolutely.
Even rubber, even leather, even metal.
Even the air. I hear it's a rare condition where people are allergic to air.
Anything can cause allergies. So rather than reading out a list of allergens, because any possible thing is an allergen, you know, what you want to know, what you want to look out for is your child's reaction to things. So if they suddenly develop catarrh when they're around certain things, they have welts on their skin, they have a cough that will not go, they're sneezing a lot, their eyes are red and watery, and their eyes are having discharges, you know, you want to start tracing to find out what's causing those things, because that's an allergic reaction.
Okay, well, sometimes I wonder, is it allergy to humans? Because sometimes you'll be alone in your house, fine, and then you step out to the real world and then you're sneezing and...
It's dust, most likely dust or pollen.
Sometimes not just
or
dust.
mites.
So many things, really. But thank you so much for your time, Oluyemisi Agoro.
Thanks for having me.
It's such a pleasure always. At this point, we have to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. It's Wake Up Nigeria.